Hello, my name is Phil Herman. I'm superintendent of Hudson City Schools, and thank you for tuning in to today's Monday message. 2 weeks ago, I shared with you we would be sending a survey to our parents to gain our parents' perspectives on the hybrid experience thus far and to ask for feedback on their comfort level with a possible transition to the all-in learning model. So thank you so much to all of you who took the time to participate in that survey. We had a great response, again, with 2,031 respondents representing 3,868 students. And in today's message, I will share those survey results with you. First of all, we had very even distribution across grade levels, approximately 7.4% to 8.4% of the respondents were represented at each grade level, and so it was very even across the board. Let's get into some of the questions. First of all, the question that so many of you want to know about are, given the guiding principles, your understanding of COVID-19, your experience in the hybrid instructional model, and the two considerations above, physical distancing, and two, the potential effects on the need to quarantine, how comfortable are you moving to the all-in instructional model? And so the overall results showed that 43.18% of our parents are very comfortable, 20.33% are comfortable, 7.98% represented neutral, 14.23% said uncomfortable, and 14.29% said very uncomfortable. As you might imagine, there were some differences in K through 5 versus 6 through 12. So when we look at the K through 5 results, you can see that the very comfortable goes up to 51.08% and comfortable to 22.9%, and uncomfortable is down to 11% and very uncomfortable is 8.33%. When we look then at 6 to 12, you can see that has shifted a little bit the other direction, with very comfortable being at 35.95% and comfortable at 18.14%. Well, very comfortable at 35.95, comfortable at 18.14, uncomfortable at 17.15%, and very uncomfortable at 19.58%. We also asked that same question of our virtual learning option parents, and you can see those results here, with very comfortable at 7.84%, comfortable at 5.32%, and uncomfortable at 26.05%, and very uncomfortable at 51.26%. And of course, our virtual learning option families may continue to stay in virtual learning option through the entire year, or may shift back at the semester for 6 through 12, or any of the trimesters for K through 5. We'll go on to the next questions. The rest of the questions were really about the hybrid learning experience thus far. And so looking at all responses, in your opinion, how would you rate the amount of work your student is expected to complete on a weekly basis? And you can see that 52.42% said that it was manageable, or 26.41% said very manageable. 3.44% felt it was very unmanageable, and 5.53% felt like it was unmanageable. And I will say this over and over, but I would encourage you, if you are in that group, to contact your child's teacher and then work with the principal as well if you need assistance there in regard to the overall workload for your child. The next question, from your perspective, please gauge the amount of daily screen time for your student. The vast majority were neutral about this. 51.26% were neutral. 14.8% felt like it was excessive, and 23.74% felt like it was somewhat excessive. In terms of whether or not it's sufficient, 6.91% said somewhat insufficient, and 3.26% said insufficient. This next question is really important as we continue to look at hybrid and our experiences there. How much adult support does your student need on the home hybrid days? And the overall results are 45.99% were mostly or totally independent. 27.84% were somewhat independent, and approximately 26% were mostly or totally dependent. And as you might imagine, there are some differences here in 6 through 12 versus K through 5 again. At 6 through 12, 75% said mostly or totally independent, which we would expect with our older students. And in K through 5, only 13% were mostly independent, and 48% were mostly or totally dependent on adult support. The next question, if you have concerns about your students' learning, do you know where to find assistance? And 76, almost 77% said, yes, I know where to find assistance. And 16.24% said, no, I'm not aware of any resources. So again, the primary resources are to reach out to your teacher, reach out to your child's guidance counselor, and reach out to your child's building administrator if you are in that group that doesn't know where to find assistance. Also, in regards to technology, I would like more information about the following. So many people do not need any additional information in regard to technology. 63.22% said they didn't need any additional information. However, 18% would like more information on the student use of Google Classroom and the student access to online resources. Fewer need support for live streaming, troubleshooting at home, and addressing device malfunctions, but we'll continue to try to send out information in regard to those items, but particularly with a focus on use of Google Classroom and access to online resources. How satisfied are you with school supports for social emotional needs? Nearly 50% were very satisfied or satisfied, and then again, a large group, 38% at neutral. For those who are dissatisfied or very dissatisfied, once again, please reach out to the adult resources in our school district. Talk to our teachers, talk to the guidance counselors, talk to our principals. Let's identify what supports are needed for your child's social emotional needs. Moving on to the next question, what is your perception of your child's mental health or emotional well-being? And 21% said excellent, and 47% said good, and 22% said fair. We had smaller numbers say poor or very poor, 6.79% or 2.18%, but we don't want any of our students struggling with social emotional well-being or mental health. And so once again, you're hearing me say it over and over and over, please contact us. Contact your child's teacher, contact our guidance counselors, contact our building administrators so that we can assist you in those areas if your child is struggling in one of those areas. And lastly, what is your perception of your child's ability to have and maintain social interaction with peers? And this is encouraging in a time of hybrid learning or in COVID that 17% said excellent, and 40% said good, and 26% said fair. And if you're in the area of 11% or 4.4% that said poor or very poor, please, again, continue to contact us, continue the relationships with the adults in the school building so that we can support children during this period of time, which we know can be extremely challenging. So these survey results are one important perspective that we should consider in making future decisions about our learning models. However, please know that the Board of Education and I must consider many other measures as well, in addition to our perspectives of our parents, as we try to provide the best education possible for as many of our students as possible in a safe environment as possible. And so some of those factors that we need to be considering are the Summit County color rating and the reasons why we're in that color rating, the local, state, federal guidance for schools, Summit County confirmed cases, local cases in 44236 area code, Hudson City School District confirmed cases, the experiences of other districts in the various learning models, both parent and staff perspectives, and the impacts on student learning, of course. So at tonight's board meeting, I will be sharing updates on many of these factors with the Board of Education, and the board will consider a resolution to transition our learning model to an all-in learning model. The meeting will stream online at the Hudson City School District website, our district. You can click on Board of Education, watch board meetings, and then click on tonight's meeting. And once the stream has started, you'll be able to see that there. The meeting takes place in the High School Media Center at 7 p.m. and is also open to the public. Following tonight's meeting, tomorrow, we will send an update to all families regarding any decisions about the learning models that are made this evening. So thank you again for taking the time to share your perspectives and your feedback with us. Thank you for your support, and thank you for tuning into today's message. I hope you have a safe and healthy week.